and telling him to go crying to his daddy.
Come on, man. What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another video. Today we're reacting to how a skinny Showpony became the most overpowered player ever by Daily Dose of Football. The player is talking literally like Ronaldo. As you know, today was Portugal-Spain. Sadly eliminated by Spain. So this is probably the Ronaldo last World Cup. Yeah, let's proceed, man. Let's proceed.
So listen to this clip.
Okay, Daily.
Who's the best player in the world ever?
Oh yeah, I saw this
the
clip.
best player in the world ever, Diego Maradona.
I'm Diego Maradona. I'm Diego Maradona.
Did you hear how everyone laughed? Yeah, now it seems dumb, but I'm willing to bet that if you were there that day,
nobody believed in them, bro.
You would have laughed too. For the longest time, to even insinuate that Ronaldo could go on to become a contender for the greatest of all time seemed like complete sacrilege. The kind of transformation he went through was something...
That's crazy. Look at this, man. He become a man right here, bro. Oh my goodness.
Sport. It was abrupt, brutal, and at times cruel. Any other teenage sensation would have crumbled at the first obstacle.
But not Ronaldo, bro.
It all happened to precisely the one kid who could survive it. I mean, let's be real, for a while there, it did look straight out of a fairy tale. Ronaldo showed up for a friendly against the Man United squad that had been unbeaten all pre-season, and somehow tormented their defense to the point that before the final whistle was even blown, he had Roy Keane telling Sir Alex to sign him right now he leaves the stadium. In the blink of an eye, he had become the most expensive teenager in the history of the Premier League.
Most expensive. When the Premier League,
the number 7
you know how Premier League works, right?
Tonight, David Beckham, and then the cherry on the cake. Just 4 days after signing his contract, he was thrown to the wolves and still played so magnificently that George Best himself said that it was undoubtedly the most exciting debut he'd ever seen.
Ooh, coming from George Best, huh?
Many have been called the new George Best, but this is the first time it has been a compliment to me.
Damn.
Then things got real. Sure, 5 matches later, Ronaldo had Ashley Cole doing the split.
Bro, he got cooked.
Later, he even dared asking Phil Neville to let him take a free kick and proceeded to score his first ever goal in fantastic fashion. But 4 months later, all he had to his name were 2 goal contributions, and the defenders...
Yeah, but he was like, you know, young... rookie right now.
Completely hypnotized by his flicks and tricks. Now had them figured out, getting rougher and rougher, bullying him out of the ball anytime he tried something fancy. So much so that he began diving and flopping around after every contact, quickly becoming...
We're back. I just took a shower.
One of the most criticized players in the league, as every pundit began calling him a show pony.
How you call Ronaldo show pony, man? How you could start calling show pony?
No end product. His aura had vanished.
Are we buying? Cut. Yo, we're back.
Like a mere mortal, Ronaldo kept trying to convince Sir Alex he was worthy of a place in the starting 11. After New Year's, the first few assists started coming in. By the last month of the season, still unable to speak English, he managed to collect his first man of the match.
Okay, Ronaldo, okay.
Of all, with the Premier League title long gone to Arsenal's Invincibles and having already scored or assisted in almost every single round of the FA Cup, Ronaldo showed up in the final, scoring a bullet header and putting in an incredible display that had Sir Alex himself protesting the FA's decision to hand the Man of the Match award to Van Nistelrooy.
Damn.
As a kid, had just saved them from going completely trophyless.
Damn, as a teenager, bro. Ronaldo already
carrying on
clutch.
That momentum, once at the Euros, Ronaldo would keep going, coming in at halftime with Portugal trailing behind in their opening match, quickly scoring to become the second youngest goal scorer in the history of the tournament. Then running it back with an assist in the very next game to force his way into the starting 11, and eventually,
bro, CR7 is cooking, bro. He is cooking. Damn, score against the Netherlands
ever final, only to then shockingly lose to Greece.
Yeah, bro, that was crazy. I don't know what happened.
Performance had been enough to convince Europe there really was a world-class player in there.
But I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch the highlights. The team of the tournament and 12th place in the Ballon d'Or. Once the club season restarted, so did the criticism.
Yeah.
27 matches into the year, Ronaldo had a single goal to his name, and even Gary
only one goal from Ronaldo.
At times had defended him, was now putting up the question of whether it was worth it to keep betting on a player who couldn't score, one who could just turn off at times and not even help the team defend. But thankfully, again, the new year would show us
They're
Ronaldo.
gonna regret that.
By February, as United stepped into one of the toughest matches of the season, with Roy Keane and Vieira squaring up in the tunnel.
Oh yeah, again, Roy Keane and Vieira. Those have an old beef.
And Henry himself trying to intimidate Ronaldo as a home fan.
This didn't end well, man. This didn't end too well, bro.
The 19-year-old, no one thought he'd stand a chance. But then, their fullback slammed them into the advertising boards as objects rained down from the stands.
Nah, that's crazy, man. That's disrespect.
2 minutes later, he had already smacked one in to tie the match, getting up and running towards the stands, shushing the crowd. And 5 minutes after that, he banged in another, running it all back. Suddenly, it was Sir Alex who was subbing him off before things got too heated. And though that day, everyone would question how anyone had such nerve at such a young age, then it became clear Ronaldo had grown tougher, sharper, and more resilient as his numbers exploded, leading him on a streak of 13 goal contributions over 18 matches.
13 goals in 18 matches, that's it? A contribution? Damn.
That was the first season where he approached world-class status. It was also the first where he went trophyless. As despite easily being the best player on the pitch, despite being involved in 7 goals in the 5 matches that led him there, United would lose out on the FA Cup final,
with Arsenal? Against Arsenal?
Year of Ronaldo's life, as every expectation laid on his name quickly turned to worry once again.
Damn.
Little more than a month after that last match, Ronaldo's father was hospitalized with severe liver and kidney damage, allegedly having struggled with PTSD since his service at the Portuguese colonial wars and having succumbed to alcoholism as a way to numb the pain. Ronaldo,
damn, bro. That's rough, bro. That's tough.
Tried everything. He even flew him over to London to get him the best medical care money could buy, but it didn't work.
Didn't work.
By September, his father had passed away, and that completely changed him.
Rest in peace, man. Rest in
Having
peace.
spent most of the summer locked in the gym away from the cameras, once he stepped back into training, as physio Mike Fallon would say, that year, he came back a totally different animal.
Damn.
He came back a man. His body shape was different, his facial features had changed. We just said, wow, he's ready. But
he became a man after that, bro.
His body looked more prepared than ever.
Look at this, bro. Oh my goodness.
It was his mind that was completely gone. After 2 weeks of mourning, he made it back to camp, and instantly it was clear he had this rage in him that wasn't there before. He went into every challenge desperate to prove he was the best, but every time he ended up overdoing it, losing possession and costing United game after game. In fact, they'd win only 3 out of the first 10 matches following his comeback, with Ronaldo himself struggling to get a single goal. He was obviously emotionally unstable, and
emotionally unstable, man, after what happened.
Things started getting out of hand.
And the criticism will come back, probably that.
Giggs visibly gesturing towards them, telling Sir Alex to bring him off the pitch. Weeks later, he was being brought in by the police over some seriously worrying
being arrested for rape?
accusations. By December, he'd be getting berated by Ferguson, who quite literally yelled in his face, "Who the hell do you think you are?" After Ronaldo repeatedly hogged the ball in an away match against Benfica, trying to impress the Portuguese crowd, only to fail massively, get subbed off, and end up suspended for giving the crowd the middle finger. By the turn of the year, he'd be getting sent off in the middle of the Manchester derby.
He's not like mentally right now. He's not mentally right.
Losing his goal, and 3 days later, it all finally blew up, with Van Nistelrooy having enough, stopping in the middle of a practice match to yell at Ronaldo to just cross the ball already, getting into a shouting match, and telling him to go crying to his daddy.
Come on, man. That's not necessary, bro.
As you may imagine, the moment Ronaldo heard those words, he charged at him, ready to go at it, and all hell broke loose. Van Nistelrooy would eventually apologize, claiming that he was referring to second coach Carlos Queiroz and not actually his dad. But with
do y'all actually believe that? I'm not sure about that, bro.
Catching wind of the situation, the narrative had been set. Ronaldo had been averaging an horrendous 246 minutes per goal contribution for 5 months now.
Damn.
To everyone's eyes, he had lost it. Even Gary Neville admitted it was to the point I question if he had ever had it in him to become a top player.
He had though. Just give him time, bro.
This wasn't his lowest point.
Cut.
A
We
bit of
back.
a hot
Let's
streak
go.
in February was enough to convince some that a player they had once known was back. He scored his first ever knuckleball against
Let's
Fulham,
go,
then the
let's
club's
go,
goal of the
okay.
season a week later, and even helped United secure their only trophy
That's
with
very classic goal from
a goal in the final of the League
Ronaldo.
Cup. But then, once the season ended, Sir Alex was forced to make a choice. So he went ahead and sold Van Nistelrooy to Real Madrid,
Oh.
banking on Ronaldo and Rooney to carry the team to glory, which
Good
he
choice.
regret
Good choice.
almost instantly. You know the
What
story.
do you mean?
At the World Cup, 62 minutes into Portugal versus
Oh,
England,
against England,
Rooney
right?
stomps on Carvalho's private parts. Ronaldo
Hey,
rushes
yo!
towards the referee, demanding him to be sent off. The two end up getting into it,
I think the
pushing
wing,
each
right?
other
The wing.
around. And as Rooney is given his marching orders, Ronaldo is spotted winking at
Yeah.
the bench. And again, the media comes in blasting, tarnishing Ronaldo's name no matter how many times he insisted he was only winking as a way to tell the bench he had heard their orders to move further up the pitch. It was pointless.
Do you
Nothing
believe that?
sold more newspapers
I
than
don't know
another
about that, bro.
headline declaring him as public enemy number one. By the end of the World Cup, even FIFA themselves had been led to believe that story was true, going as far as snubbing him out of the Young Player of the Tournament award, giving it to Podolski instead.
Bro, what the heck? Bro, what? Yo,
While claiming
even
Ronaldo
the FIFA
lacked
believed
the
that?
fair play necessary to be worthy of such a
Bro,
prize.
come on.
As you may imagine, it would be much harder than that to keep his hands away from some silver. Upon returning
Bruh.
to Manchester, Ronaldo did consider quitting. In fact, he made it public that he thought he should get out, that he wanted to play in Spain, but Sir Alex would simply
foreshadowing, bro.
not let him. He told
In
him that
Madrid.
what was happening to him had already happened to his predecessor, that they too
David?
had tried to kill off David Beckham after his red card at
David?
the 1998 World Cup, and that if Beckham had survived that, so could Cristiano.
Yes,
because
sir.
in his own words, "You're one of the bravest I've ever known. Walking away just isn't like you." In fact, so much was his confidence
It's true,
that he'd
though.
succeed. It bet him £400 that he could hit 15 league goals that year, even though he had never hit double digits, even though the record for a midfielder had just been established by Frank Lampard.
Oh yeah, he played for midfield back then, right? Like a right
At
midfield.
16.
No, left
So
midfield. I'm not sure.
it was time to get started.
He wasn't like a left
No
wing or
matter if the
striker.
boost kept echoing throughout the stadium, right on the first match, Ronaldo and Rooney would combine to shut down the rumors and demolish Fulham 5-1. Then, nearly a year after the Benfica incident, Ronaldo would go
He's
back
back.
to Lisbon and drop a
Fast.
man of the match performance, assisting their only goal and completing 14 dribbles, the second highest tally in the history of the Champions League. Then, in October, he joined the national team to score one of the greatest goals of his career,
As a-
only to get wrongfully denied yet again. And by November,
Bruh.
that kind of thing would be done. One rocket of a free kick against Portsmouth, then a half volley against Everton to be named the league's best player of the month. And when they thought he just couldn't get better,
Gonna be best player of
7
the year.
goals and 2 assists over 6 matches in December,
Oof.
becoming only the third ever to win back-to-back Player of the Month awards. By the first match of February, he was already on 23 goal contributions for the season, and to the
As you can see, he would win the bet. You know what I'm saying?
great distaste of Sir Alex Ferguson on 15 league goals. It was only
Yeah.
a matter of time until he broke Lampard's record, but before that, being yet to score a goal in the Champions League after 5 years in the competition, Ronaldo had to destroy the rumors that he was a big game bottler.
No, that's the opposite, bro. That's the
Opening
opposite.
his tally with 2 goals
Seems
against
like, it's
Roma,
the
then
opposite.
another against the AC Milan of Maldini and Nesta. And though, unfortunately, a Kaká masterclass would let him
yeah.
get knocked out of the competition regardless.
Ricardo
Back home,
Kaká.
with United risking their place at the top of the league, falling behind 2-0 against Everton, with about
Everton?
30 minutes left in the game and 3 matches left in the season, Sir Alex would call Ronaldo up from the bench like he was releasing the Kraken. And by the end, he had flipped the result
Bro, that's so tough, bro. Oh my goodness.
into a 4-2, scoring the very next game as well to make United Premier League champions. After starting the year as the
Sir.
country's problem child, Ronaldo had managed to bring his tally up to 37 goal contributions, taking every award imaginable, even becoming the youngest since the 70s to be named Player of the Year. But even if he had already won over every one, that was nothing compared to what was about to come.
2008?
Believe it or not, United started the next season with 3 games without a win, and Ronaldo, well, not only did he not score, but in the third of those matches he was sent off and suspended
Sent off?
for
And
another
suspended?
3.
Damn.
However, this wasn't a disaster. Instead, it was one of the most important moments of his career.
Okay, let's see.
Noticing that Ronaldo was working extra hours, already trying to make up for the time he'd lost, legendary second coach Rene Meulenstein stayed behind after a training session and asked him what was his biggest goal.
Okay.
Obviously, Ronaldo replied that he wanted to be the best player in the world, so then
Typical from Ronaldo, yeah.
he told him, I can help you with that. Right now, the weakest side of your game is your attitude, because it affects your decision making. I watched every single one of your goals from last year, and you only scored 23 because you want to score the perfect goal every time. As good as you have become, you play to put yourself in the limelight to say, look at me, top corner again. So, I gotta ask you, how many goals do you think you could actually score if you put your mind to it?
Yo, what a speech, bro. He changed everything.
Ronaldo replied, between 30 to 35. So Rene said, I'm sure you could score 40, so as long as you're
He's right, though.
I'm
He was
gonna
right,
teach
though.
you how to become deadly. And for the next 30 days, he hammered Ronaldo with footage from Shearer, Lineker, Solskjaer, Van Nistelrooy, and in his own words, taught him one thing. It doesn't matter how you score,
Just
as long
score
as
the
ball
freaking
goes
goal.
in the net.
Yes, sir.
And so, over the 18 matches from his comeback up to New Year's Eve, Ronaldo scored 18 goals.
Damn.
6 of them, as per usual, were absolute stunners, but 3 had been proper striker finishes coming out of nowhere to tap it in. Another 3 were penalties. And the most important of all, in the space of 3 months, Ronaldo had scored
6 headers?
6 headers, as many as he had over the previous 5 years of his career. To say that it was frightening to watch,
I mean, he's freaking
was
tall,
the bare
bro.
minimum. Only 12 days into the new year, Ronaldo had already scored his first ever hat-trick. To start, a free kick under the wall. For the second, a perfect run and the cleanest finish. For the third, he grabbed onto a loose ball, got away from his marker and rifled it in. And somehow,
cooking, bro.
just 3 matches after that, he had already added 5 more goals to his tally, including that free kick against Portsmouth. So suddenly, as
that's
the
all in the
commentator
highlights,
said that
bro.
everything he touched turned to gold. Ronaldo had already tied his previous season's goal-scoring tally, so he went up to Meulenstein and he told him,
Better.
you can do one of 2 things now.
Okay.
You can take your foot off the pedal or push even further. So this time, it wasn't Van Nistelrooy on the TV, it was Muhammad Ali. It was about mentality, and goddamn, did that work.
Yeah, it worked.
Stop taking
Cut
meaty notes
again, bro.
and let
We back,
Starting
ladies
in
and
March,
gentlemen.
Ronaldo went
We
on a
back.
run of 7 consecutive matches scoring, always coming in whenever they needed him the most. It seemed every goal was either an equalizer or a winner.
Bro, this
But
might be
among
the
those
prime of Ronaldo,
performances,
bro.
One stood far above
In
the
the
rest.
United.
Against Aston Villa, he put up simply one of the greatest shows in Premier League history. United won 4-0, and Ronaldo scored the opener with a ridiculous back heel, then put in a perfect first-time cross for the second, another outlandish back heel touch to set up the third,
Oh, he's good.
and then another
He's being
assist
freestyler,
just
bro.
as clean
Yes.
for the fourth. As the league season ended, it wasn't that he had broken the goal-scoring record or become the first winger to win the European Golden Boot. It was about timing. Ronaldo's 37 goals and assists had won his team 24 points in a season where
Damn.
they were declared champions over a 2-point margin.
What year was this? 2008.
It's hard to
Oh,
even
this
put
is
it
the
into
Champions.
words. Almost every single goal was clutch. And in the Champions League, it wasn't much different. Ronaldo scored against almost every
header,
single
I think.
opponent they faced. Even in the final against Chelsea, he was the one to score their only goal. Again, a header. And though in
Damn.
the end, after he missed his penalty,
he missed though,
it did take
but
a tad of
they
luck
did
to
win.
bring it all together and make United European champions. There were no doubts who had made it all possible. As UEFA
Damn.
handed out their awards, Chelsea took best goalkeeper, best defender, best midfielder.
And guess who was here?
The best player award
Was-
went undoubtedly to Ronaldo, who at 23 years of age had taken virtually every
CR7,
award available
baby.
to him, as many started referring to his season as the most dominant in history.
Damn.
One that completely redefined what it even meant to be a winger. And 6 months later, following a massive transfer saga,
To
his
Real
second
Madrid.
European Championship, a surgery to his ankle, and a victorious run at the Club World Cup, Ronaldo finally reached his goal, being voted by 77 out of 96
To win the Ballon d'Or?
journalists as the best player.
Yeah,
Matter of fact, it was one of the few editions of the Ballon d'Or where one name was present in every single ballot. Ronaldo was undefeated undeniable, and by the end of that final season, he had made United Premier League champions for the 3rd time in a
Again,
row.
bro.
He had led them on the longest unbeaten Champions League run of all time, all the way to a second final.
But they lose against Barcelona.
Scoring 2 of the greatest goals in history on his way there. And even though they did lose, only a few weeks later, he had become the most expensive player of all time.
Go to Real Madrid, I think.
Onto the next chapter of his career, one that somehow made all of what I just said look completely average.
It's just the beginning,
So,
bro.
listen-
And the rest of history. Yo, amazing video from Daily Dose of Football, bro. Yo, Ronaldo have a completely changed, bro. Like 1 season off, he become like a monster, bro. What the hell? Yeah, man. If you've watched into here, like and subscribe. Comment who should I react next. And thank you for watching. See ya.